welcome to the well of possibilities on this last day of the year. We're heading into a new year, and I want to talk to you, with you, about something super important, and that is the time for yourself. I mean, that's not a new topic, right? But it seems to be so difficult to carve out this time. We struggle with time for ourselves. We struggle with time for others that are really important. So there's this time thing that's important. So today I just want to share with you that it is crucially important. It's so essential for your personal reflection, for your creativity, for your mental well-being, to carve out time for yourself. You're heading into a new year. It's a great moment to schedule it right now for all the 12 months coming at you. It's an opportunity to really, consciously work on your well-being by adding this simple thing to your life. So I'm going to break down the topic on why you struggle with solitude so that it helps you to become stronger, overcome it, and do things differently next year, okay? So yeah, my name is Margaret. I'm the founder of a global education platform all about doing life happier. I think that doing life happier is a form of activism in a world that sometimes seems harsh and negative and dark. There are, at the other hand, beautiful things, beautiful project going on. We need more people that are strong, healthy, and willing to rise up, stand up, and protect this beautiful planet in all facets for what it's worth. And yeah, in on the internet and out in the open, I'm supporting people with gaining their confidence and strength, building their resilience on exactly becoming that a happier, more joyful person. So let's go. Today it's all about how you can tackle this whole thing, this whole struggle about time for yourself. So first, it starts with recognizing, of course, the lifestyle demands of these modern times. You know, it's busy. We are busy. We have our calendars in our phones, on our computers. Stitched on walls. I mean, it's coming from everywhere. It's filled with work stuff, social engagements, sport activity, digital distractions as well that pull you off alone time. So this constant activity leaves simply little room, right, for an sorry, for quiet, uninterrupted time. When I was building my business, in the beginning years, I really worked from 10:30 in the evening to 3 o'clock in the morning because it was the only time that was really quiet, that I could continue working on plans and content and all that kind of thing. So, of course, that's not very sustainable and healthy to do that for a very long time, but but it is possible to find these time pockets throughout your day if you really become conscious of the fact that you need it, that it's important, that you can assess your daily routine and plan it. Reserve it for solitude because it will help your creativity, the way you think, all of it. So, and I very well understand that there are people who fear these alone time, right? They become discomfortable when they're alone. They have negative voices maybe coming up or negative associations with being alone that can stem from childhood or from the idea that you're not loved or something. But even if that's you, try to gradually introduce into your schedules, into your daily routines, little moments of doing something like journaling or walking to ease into the practice of being alone, right? So it's really important that you start doing this. And if you really have trouble with it, you can always contact me. But again, if you recognize and acknowledge that that is what's going on for you, then you can also consciously do something to avoid it. So, and then there's another thing that's really weighing heavy on everybody, and that's cultural expectations, because there's this unwritten rule in society, or you can call it societal pressure, that basically wants you to be constantly productive, constantly socially engaged, constantly announcing achievements or plans or whatever. You know, you cannot invent it, or it's kind of cool to talk about it. And if you then don't have these things going on, people feel guilty, or they feel disconnected, or they say like, oh, I'm too disconnected, or they feel unproductive uh, when taking time for themselves. And that is weird, because this alone time actually makes you very productive, makes you feeling much better, makes you a much nicer person towards everybody in your life. So it is important to kind of see solitude not something unproductive, but actually as a tool to be very productive, to make your whole performance better, right? Not only physically, but also energetically, emotionally, and all parts. So take it out of this cultural conditioning and treat it as something else, as something precious, as a natural resource that you have, that you define, that you decide, um, to kind of feedback energy back into your system. So, and then of course, acknowledge your digital dependency, right? It's almost an addiction to many. There are all kind of things in your brain popping up that want you to go back into the screen, whether it's this kind of screen, whether it's a phone, whether it's a television. This persistent use of technology is terrible because it's just not healthy. Your brain is not made for it. It's not up to it. Um, uh, Social media, I mean, they fill up every downtime moment. Even sport clubs, they struggle with finding volunteers because nobody is getting bored anymore. They're all in their phone, right? So, yes, it's difficult maybe to disconnect from it, but you have to break through that pattern. It's so important to become present in the moment, here, offline, and find a moment of solitude so that your brain is not constantly triggered by visuals, by words, by sounds, by noise, by colors, all these kind of things. So really acknowledge your digital dependency and break out of this pattern, right? So how you can do this, you can set yeah, go on a digital diet, how you call it, digital diet maybe, like tech-free time, tech-free spaces. For example, there's no phone in my bedroom. Um, I don't want to use my phone in the kitchen. Very sometimes I listen to something, but I'm not on my screen. So you can find designated areas in your home, in your work life, where you say, okay, this is a tech-free zone. You will feel so good about it. In the beginning, you have to get used to it, but it's really nice. So create space for this solitude, for not being influenced, talked into by something else. So, and then, yeah, a mistake, right, people make. They don't prioritize it. So it's simple as that. They see it as a low-key thing to do in their life, a low-key priority, but you have other tasks and demands and a responsibility going on, and me time, solitude time is often coming at the end, if it's coming at all. So flip it around. I mean, um, consider it a high priority task, something that you really have to schedule, that you really have to plan for, that you really have to write out, that you have to communicate, right? Because it's also part of it, communicate it. It's not to disconnect in a negative way. It is actually like charging the battery for your phone. It's to recharge yourself so that you can be a nicer, more joyful person. There's nothing wrong with that. It's very responsible if you do so. Just treat it as another important commitment that you simply have to plan in. So, yeah, understand that modern lifestyle is very demanding. You know this, you feel this in everything. Work with it, break through it. Don't fear being alone. And if you feel discomfortable or uncomfortable when you are alone, start with little pockets of time, right? And then review your cultural expectations. What do you expect of others? Is it fair? Does it make sense? And is it fair and does it make sense to demand this from yourself or to play that game, right? Do you really need to be socially engaged all the time? or responding to everybody immediately, or all these things you can invent for yourself. Just assess yourself um, in that conditioning, basically, that you have running through your system. Acknowledge your digital dependency and decide where you want to create tech-free zones. At work, if possible, at home, if possible, spaces and time. Do it. Make it a priority to schedule those in, and then, yeah, that's it. Make it a priority. It's important. You will love it. You will feel so much better. You struggle to make time for yourself. This is a moment, a new year starting, to prioritize solitude as something vital for your personal growth, for your creativity, for your mental well-being, for your family relations, for your friends' relations. There's no reason not to do it. And if you find a reason, tell me. So you can do this. And I wish you joy. Apply it. See that it's hard. Discover that it's hard, but you can do this. I hope to see you next week. I wish you a beautiful change of the year. And yeah, I can say Happy New Year. See you in the next year. And thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.